Have you ever thought about making money online but talk yourself out of it because you don't have a huge following or you just don't think that you're techy enough? This video is going to be for you. Because I used to think the same thing. I wasn't looking to be an influencer and I didn't care to go viral. I was just looking for a way to build something different, a business with no monthly expenses, no inventory, no employees, no storefront, something I could run from home around everything else already going on in my life. And what I found changed how I think about money completely. So stick with me because by the end of this video, I'm going to break down exactly how this works and how you could get started. You see, most people, when they think about making money online, they picture two different scenarios. Either it's some young kid talking about crypto or some influencer with millions of followers selling merch. And if that's the only picture you have, of course, you're going to say that this is not going to be for you. But really, the people who are quietly making real income online, you probably never even heard of. They don't have millions of followers. They're just regular people who found the right vehicle, implemented a simple system, and constantly showed up. But real quick, let me bust the biggest myth that I see that's stopping a lot of people, because the idea that you need a massive audience to make money online is wrong, and here's why. See, if your focus is going viral, you're going to get a lot of eyeballs, but most of those people are just scrolling to kill time. So they might not even care what you got to say because they're scrolling to be entertained. Now, compare that to a micro niche. When you make content specifically for people interested in digital marketing, making money from home, building income outside of their job, every person watching already has some level of interest in what you have to say. So the views are smaller, but the quality is completely different. You're talking to the right people. I'd rather have 500 people watching who actually want what I got to offer than 500,000 people who scroll by accident, and that's what you have to realize. Now, let me tell you why I went the digital route. Let's use a storefront, for example. You will need to pay that lease even if you're not profitable. How about a franchise? Now you're going to need massive capital just to get in the door. And let's say you want to start a product business. Now you got to deal with inventory, shipping, returns, and storage. All of that before you even think about profit. See, me, I didn't want to deal with any of that. I wanted a business where my starting costs were low, where my overhead was basically nothing, and I could operate from my laptop or my phone. Digital marketing check every single box. No physical location, there's no inventory, and you don't have to hire anybody. You just need an automated system, an internet connection, and the willingness to put in the work. And the best part, I could do it around my current schedule. I didn't have to quit anything and take a big risk to get started. Okay, so let's actually start breaking this down, because not all online income is created equal. And if you want to understand why some paths make more sense than others, depending on where you're starting from, there are really four main buckets when it comes to making money online. Let's start with physical low-ticket products. Think about selling on Amazon, Etsy, Shopify. These are all physical goods shipped to customers. The problem is now you're back to the overhead. There's inventory costs, shipping costs, returns, and the margins on low-ticket items are thin. You might sell something for $20 and walk away with maybe $3 after fees and costs. You need massive volume to make real money, so it's a constant grind. Now let's talk about physical high-ticket products. It's basically the same inventory and logistics headaches, but now you're dealing with higher risk because each unit costs you more upfront if you're wholesaling. Some people do well here, but the barrier to entry is high and you're still managing a lot of moving parts. If you do high-ticket physical products, I would recommend high-ticket dropshipping because you're not buying the inventory until you make a sale. But even with that, you will probably still walk away with maybe like 30% margins. So if you sell a product for $1,000, you will walk away with $300 after expenses. And then there's digital low-ticket products. Now we talking about ebooks, small online courses, templates, things that are priced between $7 and $47. The margins are much better because there's no physical products, but the problem here is volume. You still need a lot of buyers to build a real income. So if you're selling a $15 ebook, you need hundreds of sales a month just to see some decent numbers. That means you need a big audience or a big ad budget. So it's not really ideal when you're first starting out, which brings me to my favorite model, and that is high-ticket digital products. Now, this is where things start to make a lot of sense. Now we're talking about high-value programs such as coaching, done-for-you systems that are priced anywhere from $500 to several $1,000s. The same content, same effort to create, but One sale can be worth what 20 or 30 low ticket sales would earn you. And because it's digital, there's no inventory, there's no shipping, there's no physical product at all. Your margins are much higher than any other model. And this is why I chose this path. Let me put some simple math on this so it really starts to click. Say your goal is to make $3,000 a month from your online business. With a $15 digital product, you need 200 sales. 200 people need to find you, they need to trust you, and buy every single month. With a high ticket digital program price at $1,000, you only need 3 sales. 3 people who are serious, who resonate with your message, and who are ready to invest in themselves. Now, let me ask you, which one sounds more achievable when you're just starting out? Now, I'm not saying low ticket has no place. It surely does. But when you're building from scratch without a massive following, every sale needs to count. High ticket makes each conversation, each piece of content, and each lead worth a lot more. And that's not a small difference. That's the difference between getting no momentum for a year and actually seeing results in your first few months, maybe even weeks or days. Now, let me show you how this actually works in practice, because this is where a lot of people get confused. They think that making money online means posting and hoping. That's not a business, because you have to have a sales process. What actually works is a funnel. And a funnel is just a simple path that takes someone on a journey to become a customer. Here's how it works in 3 steps. Step 1, it starts with the content. You create videos, posts, or reels around topics your target audience is already searching for, so you're not trying to entertain the whole internet. You're answering very specific questions that your ideal customers are typing into YouTube or Google. Videos like this one, that's how they find you. Step 2 is the bridge. At the end of your content, you point them somewhere. This could be a link in the description, a free guide, something that gives them more value and captures their information. This is where a casual viewer becomes a lead, someone who's raising their hand saying, I want to know more about what you got going on. Step 3 is the offer. Once they're on your list or they've seen your bridge page, they're introduced to your actual program or product. By this point, they've already gotten value from you. They already trust you. It's just a natural next step for someone who's already bought into your message. So content brings them in, the bridge qualifies them, and the offer is what converts them. That's the whole machine right there. And once it's set up, it works whether you're awake or not. So what does this actually look like on a normal day? A typical day in this business looks like creating one piece of content, maybe a YouTube video, maybe a few posts, responding to people who reached out, and checking your numbers. You can do paid ads, but making content speeds up the trust, so I recommend you still make content. That's it for the active part. Meanwhile, your content from last week, last month, 6 months ago is still out there. It's still showing up in search results, still sending people into your funnel. And your content over time is going to be generating leads while you're doing other things. This is why I call it building something. You're not just trading time for money like a job. Every piece of content you create, it becomes like an asset that works for you long after you made it. Over time, those assets, they start to stack up and the results start to compound. And this is how you can start to build this around a full-time job, around your family, around your real life. You don't have to blow everything up just to get started. You just have to start. Now, I know some of you still watching and are still maybe a little skeptical. Maybe you've seen too many people online making big promises and delivering nothing. And honestly, it's pretty healthy to be skeptical. There's a lot of noise out there. What I will tell you is this: the model itself is legitimate. Digital marketing, high ticket programs, content driven funnels, these are real industries generating real revenue every single day. The question is just whether you have the right information and the right support to actually execute. Because a lot of people fail online because they try to figure it out all on their own, everything from scratch with no real guidance. And that's where people start to get stuck. The people winning are the ones who found a proven system and plug into it instead of reinventing the wheel. So if this video resonated with you, if you're someone who's been looking for a business with no overhead, no experience required, something that you can build from home around your current life, I put together something for you. It's called the Freedom Formula Blueprint. It breaks down exactly how regular people are generating income in the digital marketing space without needing a following, without needing to be an expert, and without the overhead of a traditional business. The link is right below this video. Click it, check it out. And if it's something that makes sense for where you're actually trying to go, give it a shot. This is the program where I had my first $900 day 2 weeks after starting. And you can watch that video after this one to learn more I hope you guys got value from this. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing because that's going to help this channel a lot. Appreciate you for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.